Hey guys, Mo Trapper. I wanted to talk about shock springs. So I like to run shock springs on pretty much all my foothold traps. Um, I like them. I think they do, they give some additional comfort to the animal. Um, I'm running cable stakes. So if you're running like rebar stakes, these are very important because they keep the trap from, they keep the animal from being able to pump those stakes out. I'm running, earth anchors, so that's not really, that doesn't really, affect my traps too much because the earth anchors work differently, right, than rebar stakes. But if you're running rebar, you definitely need something to help them from being able to pump the stakes out of the ground. So these will help with that. But other than that, I mean, they just, they provide some give when that animal's, hitting the end of that trap chain. A lot of the live market guys, which I don't trap for live market, but they say it helps with shoulder and paw and foot damage, just from that coyote pulling. So I think it makes the experience more comfortable for the animal, and it just puts less strain on them overall. So that's why I run them. I wanted to talk about the particular ones. So these are from Wolf Creek Products. I get these from PCS Outdoors. And this is the best deal that I've been able to find anywhere on shock springs. So they're made like the JC Connors. Okay, so they're almost identical. The JC Connors, this material here is going to be thicker. The spring's going to be a bit thicker on the JC Connors. I honestly think the JC Connors are a more heavy duty product, but I also think, they're probably overkill for what I'm doing. I mean, I'm sure you could hold wolves and things like that with the JC Connors. They're super thick, super heavy duty, and they're very nice. Nothing wrong with them at all, but they're expensive. So when you buy JC Connors, you would pay $26 for the spring and these two T-bars that make up the shock spring. If you get these from Wolf Creek, they're lighter duty, right? But I still think they're plenty strong, and I've been using these for years, so I can guarantee you they're plenty strong for, Midwestern coyotes for sure. And, pit bulls and raccoons and bobcats and everything else I've caught in these traps. But anyway, when you buy the Wolf Creeks, you get, a swivel and two J-hooks, the spring, the T-bars, two more J-hooks, and another swivel, right? So it's this whole package here is what you're going to get for about the same money. So for about that same $24, $25 for a dozen, you're going to get all this. And basically at that point, all you got to do is, what I do is I find the middle of my chain, whatever that is. This one was, so it's with 7 links. This is that alpha trap, right? So when I got this trap, it had about, it had like 7 links to chain, I think. So the center link I cut, and then I've got 1, 2, 3 on one side, J-hook, swivel, J-hook, shock spring, J-hook, swivel, J-hook, and then back into 3 links of chain, another swivel, and then the trap. The other thing that's nice about these is it gives you, 2 more swivel points in your trap chain. So, and I run them kind of in the middle of the chain. And you could run them higher in the chain. I think that would probably be fine. I wouldn't probably run them much lower in the chain because when you put this J hook onto your, earth anchor and drive that in, a lot of times this swivel will end up being right at the ground level, or maybe sometimes a little bit below ground level. So this one is probably the most likely to get gummed up and not really swivel very well, right? So then you've got your trap bed. If you've got a lot of tall grass around the set, when that coyote starts making that catch circle, if they pull grass down with these, sometimes these will get gummed up. But if you've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 swivel points, it's very unlikely that they're going to gum up all those swivel points. So they should still have full movement in that trap and be just fine whenever you get there to collect them in the morning. So anyway, that's it on shock springs. I wanted to give you that tip. I think these Wolf Creek ones are a very good deal. to get shock springs if you want to get them, reasonably priced and get them in line, put them in your chain on the traps. And again, I get those from PCS Outdoors, Wolf Creek. They're not sponsors or anything like that. I bought all this stuff, but that's just something I've found that I think is a pretty good deal when it comes to shock springs. So, all right, thanks.